Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Adefemi Great here again, and in our last video we went through an overview for Djuix.io, and in the process we were able to create this blog project. And in today's episode we would actually be continuing with that flow by creating a frontend for that blog project using our numerous AI tools. However, before that, I was exploring some feature during the weekend and I thought I should share with us. So if you come down to the account page within settings and we access the manage subscription, at the moment I am running the trial plan, which was not the situation in the last episode. So the message for the renewal process is actually stating your trial will expire November 5 and will be reverted to the free plan. So this is suggesting that there won't be any auto renewal. And you can get this kind of message in a case where you don't have your payment information set up or you've decided to cancel out of the subscription. In my own case, I actually have the payment method set up, but at some point I canceled the auto renewal process. So the question is, let's say I want the auto renewal to take effect again. Nothing seems obvious to perform that operation at the moment because, there's no button here. But I'd like to tell you that you can actually do it, and this is why I am actually discussing this in the first place. So since you are on the trial plan, the pro plan, you can as well click on the pro plan again, and this should probably be a better information. So when you click on that current plan button and you confirm change, so the way the subscription flow works is, if you are in a higher plan or the same plan, the plan stays in place and wait for the next subscription for it to renew. So in this case, we're in the Pro and we activated the Pro again. That means we are telling the system to activate Pro for us in the next renewal. And with that done, if we come back here, we'll find out that the message has changed. Now it reads, your trial will expire on November 5 and you will be automatically renewed. And as such, you have the option to cancel the subscription again. And there you have it, guys. This is the feature I thought I should share with us. And if you have a better idea on how this should be implemented, I would appreciate your feedback in the comment section. And with that done, I can decide to go back to cancel the subscription, and this will revert us back to the initial message, which we have here. So back to the drawing board, we are back to the blog project. So let's open it up. And currently the server is running. So if I pull this up, so we get to see this page provided to us by Django. And we are able to see this because we've set the debug to be true. So we are seeing this when the debug is set to true. So that's something to note. So that's about that. And again, I have prepared the framework we'll be using to manage our projects. So this is set up using Flight. So we have ShardCN UI in place, then we have Tailwind in place. And we are going to be exploring V0 to achieve our goal. So now that we have these endpoints, we have the auth endpoint, we have the users endpoint, we have the blog endpoint. I'm not sure we really need the users endpoint. It's meant to handle profiling, and I'm not sure we are going to go into that. However, we might be exploring the auth endpoint as well as the blog endpoint. The blog is meant to provide the blogs, while the auth endpoint is meant to manage authentication. So let's explore the blog endpoint. So within the blog endpoint, we have endpoints for posts, we have for comments, and we have for categories. So what I'm going to share with V0 is the posts and the comment endpoint, and I'm going to tell it how it works. And I expect V0 to share with me adequate UI information to be able to make posts, add comments, and so on. However, in order for us to actually make a post, we need to be authenticated, same thing with making comments. So again, we have to check the auth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the URL for the auth into a separate tab. That way we can have every URL in place whenever we need to check them. And before that, here is the simple app I've created for this project. All right, so here is what the auth URLs looks like. And like I said in the last episode, you get the login, you get the register, you get the refresh, and you get the active. So the active gets the active user. So now that we have all this information, let's pull up V0. All right, so I am authenticated and I'm not even using a special plan. However, we have all the information we need. So what I'm going to do is I have the endpoint for the post. So I'm going to copy the post and the comments endpoint to V0. Then also I'm going to copy the login and everything to V0 as well. So I'm just trying to give it adequate information as much as possible. And with the endpoints appended, I'm now going to put together the prompts and see how far V0 can go with this. So yeah, I'm going to fast forward this so that I don't delay with me thinking about the prompt. All right, so here's my prompt, and it reads, the above endpoint includes a post endpoint responsible for getting a blog post or retrieving a specific one with ID, the only authenticated. So this should be only authenticated. So only authenticated users can make a post or make a comment. You can see the endpoint responsible for the outflow. Using SharpCN UI with CSS via the art creative blogging platform that allows me to see all blog posts and can comment. Then there should be a call to action to post which would require user to log in. Also, each blog post has a category associated with them, which can be added with the endpoint. So at this point, also you can maybe share the field that a blog post can have and so on. But let's ignore that. Let's make it generic. There we can fix whatever V0 gives us. So yeah, I will send this prompt and see what happens. So as you can see, it first created the API TS, which kind of made the calls and makes sense. Then next it moves on to the blog platform, which is navigation.ts. Then we have the Go platform. So later blog posts. Then we have the single blog posts. Then we have the login platform. Then we have the new post platform. Then we have the main app. Okay, so we are going to start from the router actually, then navigate our way down to where it's needed. So for the router, we need to install React Router DOM, which we currently don't have. So I'm going to do that. So I can stop the server for now. Also, it looks like we need Axios. All right, so let's work with those for now. And let's come back here. We have the main app.ts. So let's copy this. Come back here and paste. So there's a couple of errors. We don't have navigation, we don't have home, and so on. So let's move on to navigation. So here we have new file. So we don't have drop-down menu from SharpCN. So let's install that. So because we are using TypeScript, we need to specify the types for all this. So let's have, so I'm using an helper called Codium. And with that, I can easily just spin up what the information for this will be. And also, it looks like it's using a state. It's defining a state that was never used, so I can remove this as well. So this is me just configuring the prettier formatter. And with this, I'm done with the navigation components. Let's actually import it from where it's supposed to be. So let's get navigation. Okay, so now we have navigation. So let's move on to the next component, which is the home component. So again, we can come here. This is the home component, and we can have this copy. So if you want, you can tell V0 to utilize TypeScript, which ensures that types are defined. But I won't bother too much about that. I can easily define my types. And for the all components, we need to have the API in place as well as the card component. So using chat.cn again, we can install the card components. Then also we need to implement the api.ts. So let's quickly define a file for that, api.ts. Then come back here, let's get the api.ts. Okay. So this is saying that it doesn't allow any, but for now, let's just ignore that. Let's disable for the whole file. We'll come back to that later on. Then for the API, we can now adjust. So this would be get post from API. And here we have most of the things we need for the open.ts page. So this is expecting ID and so on. And the post does not really have a type. So let's give it a type of any for now. So again, it's going to complain about any, which we can disable for the entire file. So now we've fixed all the errors within our page. Let's move on to the next one. So probably before that, let's update the import for all. Okay, so we've done that. The next one is the post page. So let's define the posts. So we have the posts and we can come here to get the posts. So let's verify we have two kinds of posts actually. Okay, I think this is the one we need, the post page. So copy all these and paste here. So let's fix our error. We don't need the card filter. Then we need to install test area. So the ID here is complaining that it might not be defined. So let's have a check. So if not ID, return. And that way we fix that. So the next one is the type, because we are trying to set comments and there is really no type defined. So again, we can come here and say this is any. Then we fix this. So comments. Yeah, we also need this for the comments as well. Then finally the posts, which is this. So the undo submit here, we would allow any as well. Then there's an error here. The comments, then we can make this any as well. So all these things we would have to fix later on so that it aligns with what our API is expecting. But we're just trying to resolve all the errors generated by V0, and that's what we're trying to do. So again, we can remove posts and bring in post here. So next one is the alt and then new post. So let's get the alt first. Then copy all these, come back here and paste. So for the alt, we need the label component. So let's install that. Then we need to define the type for this. Well, it looks like Podium has resort to just using any. Well, we can manage that for now. Then this as well will work, most likely be any. Okay, so we fix for the alt page as well. Then we can update it. Then finally, we need the new post page. So let's create that. So again, we don't need card footer for this. This needs to be any. Then finally, in here, we have categories, parts of any. Okay, so we kind of have everything. Let's update this as well. New posts and new posts. So we've not really made any adjustments. Let's see what this will give us when we do yarn dev. Okay, the server is running, and if we come back here, refresh, latest blog post. So this is all we have. We didn't get any blog posts, and we didn't get any information to tell us if there's a blog post or not. However, let's see if it actually made any requests. So network, let's refresh this. So let's go there and load this. So we are currently experiencing cost issue, as you can see here. The error states this, and if you check our also get this. So yeah, this is not allowing us access what we need to access. So if we come back to our code, we can close this for now, and we can come down to settings. So basic settings. There we can view code. So we have the cost middleware defined or not. So it doesn't look like we have the cost middleware here. Yeah, we don't. So we need to fix that. So I'm going to step away to resolve this because obviously we didn't define cost configuration for this. So once I'm done, I'm going to come back and we can continue with our flow. Alright guys, welcome back and let's continue. So I've gone back to Djuix.io and I've made the necessary updates to ensure that we no longer have issues with costs. And this is me restarting the server, and let's see if it actually works. So again, I can replace this with this, enter. Then the same thing for the okay. So let's come back to the APIs and let's update the domain. Okay, so back in our browser and see, let's see what happens this time around. So this time around we get 200 and we have our results. So we no longer have the cost issue. So moving forward with our flow, let's actually see what happens with this. So post.map is not a function, and that's because the structure of our results is not really what it's expected. So let's fix that. So our post is going to come in form of this. So as you can see, we have the count, we have the next, then previous, then we have the results. So we could actually share this information with V0 and make it aware of that. However, I want to go even the step higher to add a post so that we have the structure of the post itself and we can share with V0. So coming back to the login, let's see if we can register from here. So we can indeed register from here, but we don't want to interact with all this information. So what we're going to do is we are going to get Postman and use Postman to register. All right, so now we have Postman. Let's add in our register endpoint. So here's the register endpoint, and it's going to be a post request. Let's add it without data. Let's see what happens. So as you can see, it requires a password, a username, and an email. So let's provide those. All right, so let's send this now. All right, so we're able to create that account using that information. So we have the username, we have the email, and we have all the information we need. So the next thing to do is to log in. So let's get the login endpoints. Again, the login endpoint is also going to be a post request. Let's make a request and see what it requires. So for the login endpoint, it wants the email and the password. So we can just copy all this. And with this, we are able to log in, so we have access and the refresh token. So the next thing we want to do is to explore the post URL. So let's copy the post. Let's come back here and make the post requests. Again, this is going to be a post request. So let's see. So to add a blog post, you need to be authenticated. In this case, all we have to do is come down to the authorization header and specify the bearer token. And we can use the access token from our login. So we can specify the token here and paste. So now it requires an author ID, the category ID, the title, the content, and the slug. The author ID in this case is 1. We don't have a category yet, so let's explore the category part. Again, we can come down here. We have categories. So no category by default, and category is not paginated. So let's come down to here. Let's post category. So to post category as well, you need to be authorized. So let's add the bearer token and send again. So for category, you need the name and the slug. So we can actually make this slug field not required if you want to, but for now, it looks like we need to provide it. So let's add category. So here we have the name. And let's just call this news. And the slug will be the same thing as the name. So slug. We have news as well. So save. So yeah, we have the category. We can add more. Let's call this entertainment. So we have entertainment as well. And now if we refresh this, we get to see the category lists. Okay, that looks good. So now that we have two categories, we have the ID for this. We can copy that. Or let's use the news ID. So we can come back here to our posts, the body, and we have raw. So we have the JSON. So we have the author ID to be 1. So author underscore ID. And that's 1. Then we have the category ID. And for the category ID, we just copied it. Then next, we have the title. Then the next item is the content. And finally, we need the slug. And the slug is just going to be the formatted version of the title. So overview. Okay, so we have all the information we need. Let's send this request. And voila, we have our information. So we have everything we need for a post. So let's come back to the API route for this. And let's view our posts. So as you can see, we have posts. So now we can send this information to V0. So V0, come back here. Here is the data expected from posts from the posts endpoint. Then you paste it. Then here is the data structure. So actually, let me use structure, data structure. And here is the data structure expected from categories. So we can come back here, come back to the API route, enter categories, and we can copy this. So let's send this and get its feedback. So it's updating the home page, which is quite important. So post response, yep. So let's copy the home page now. I'll come back to our browser, home, and replace. So we need badge. Let's cancel this. Let's install badge. Okay, let's start the server again. And let's come back to our browser. Okay, we have another error. Okay, we didn't save this, so let's save. All right, so after saving, we have this. So our latest blog is overview of Djuix. You most likely don't need these category objects. Or probably that's the structure of what it returned. Let's take a look. Yeah, so what category returned was category object. We can fix this if we want to within Djuix. And yeah, we have this. So let's read more. Okay, so for some reason, it requires a double line. Yeah. And yeah, we can fix that later on. But for now, this is what it's taking. So it requires us to have slash in front of that. So get v0 to resolve that. And so we have posts. Let's update the posts. Then the cat footer. Then the new posts. Okay, so we've done all that. We can come to single posts if we have that. Okay, posts. Get post by ID. So this is ensuring that ID exists. So we can add a single slash here, and it doesn't need a slash at the back. Then get comments, we'll need a single slash. So let's see this again. Failed to fetch comments, but it was able to fetch the posts, as you can see. So yeah, we can get back to that later on, but let's come back to the home page. We have the posts. Loading failed to fetch comments. Yeah, because we are fetching the comments in a wrong manner. So let's come back to the post page. Let's remove the, so we have the comments here. Let's remove the comments. So here is what viewing single page looks like. And from here, you can already see how far we can go. So again, if we want to fix the login at the moment, we have username or password. However, we can also inform it of what it's expected for a login and password. So if I come back here to the login, so this is the register. So here I can say the register expects the following. And the login expects. Finally, we can tell it what the login brings out. The login returns. Okay, let's see what happens. So I think from this, all we probably need to update is the interceptors, then the auth page. So let's get the interceptor in place. For better still, we can just copy everything. So the comments is not working the way we want, so we can remove the guest comment for now. Then the API can... Actually, let me just replace the interceptors because I don't want to change too much. Okay, so refresh token itself has changed. So let's also refresh that. Okay. Then next, we want to update the auth page. So we need alerts. Okay, so alert is installed and we are good with the auth page. And next, we need the app page itself. So let's see what update has been made in that respect. So here is the app. Let's copy it. Okay, so the app looks good. Let's refresh and see what we have. Okay, we need to start our server. So again, there. Okay, so let's register. Let's register with the existing user. So we have a different great at Djuix.io. Actually, that's the username field. Secrets. So at the digital field, yeah. So It didn't give us adequate information, but the information was quite reasonable. The information we are trying to specify already exists. So let's just change it to 1 see what happens. So it automatically logs us in as soon as we do that. And because we authenticated, now we can make new posts, even though Visual does not give us that. Okay, so it looks like it's trying to authenticate itself, but it's not able to do. And we can continue exploring all this until we get ourselves a great blog platform. So the point I'm trying to make is that we have an API that we can actually use to explore this. And remember, we created this API just by using the AI suggestion. And I believe if we had handled things ourselves, like manually, we would have gotten even a better and robust API system. And that's what we'll be venturing into in the next episode. So in the next episode, we're going to be making the same API, but this time around manually instead of exploring the AI routes. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, I believe this is the time for you to do that so that you don't miss out on any of these updates. So guys, if you enjoyed the episode so far, kindly leave a thumbs up. And if there is any comments you would like to share, leave them in the comment section. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.